All right, top. So let's see what's going on here. Let me get this going. All right, we got another match review here. Next up, we got top or top. Man's is on Doctor Strange. Were you playing Strange the whole way through? Yep, just Strange all the way. Man's playing top one over here. I respect it. He's a good ass character. All right, got 10k damage, 25k blocked, 44% accuracy, 22, 6, and 2. Solid. It's pretty solid numbers. Enemy tank. No, I expect him to do a lot of block damage and take this. Let's see here. Y'all have 222. Enemy team 222 as well. I see why they had trouble. This is a little rough. This enables Spider-Man. Thor, not so much. But we'll see. He swap anything? Penny Groot, Panther, and all the way through. Okay. I'd imagine they had troubles with Panther. Probably couldn't see him. All right, let's see. Let's see what's going on.
Capture the mission area. Got it? The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here comes trouble. Counting on you, friends.
Oh man, forgot the replays. They do this sometimes. Oh, we are boxing. With the shields up. Uh-oh. This engagement. What happened in this engagement? What happened in this engagement? I'm gonna check this out from bird's eye. Just so I see who was in front of you. This is why you died. I was like, why did you die? There's no reason for you to die. And I look to my left and I see your cloak and dagger just attacking instead of healing you. And I'm almost willing to bet. Where was the field? So I need to know where the orb was at. Wait, did they pop orb? Bruh. Sorry, I need to know why you died. Now we know why you died. Instead of I don't know why they popped bubble. I don't know why. And then look, they already did their job. So for those of you that play Cloak and Dagger, okay. All right, I get it. You swapped, right? You tossed Veil. Okay. Got it. And you went to damage. Granted, this is all a big ass combo between 3 characters, right? From this point, you have 71 HP. There's no reason for Cloak and Dagger to be here trying to attack and then jump up and then Veil to hide. Like at that point, hide you. They hid themselves and they baited you. And then swapped and then went back to trying to heal. Had they not have done this and swapped, like, okay, I get it, you want to do damage. If they would have swapped and just tossed Veil, okay, cool. Swap back and heal your point tank, because let's just keep it a stack. Look at what's coming at this team. Like, just look at what's happening. Thor, Wanda's attacking the freaking the Penny from way the flip out here. Loki got clones. They got Luna Snow right here. They have Hela back here. Like, bruh, like, well, who was that? Yeah, wait, that's your. Wait, no, that's not your Hela. That's their Hela. Okay, cool. My bad. Look at the wrong team. Then yeah, Iron Man's on your team, but he's way like, I don't know. He's not even really playing with y'all. Iron Man also made a misplay here, so I'm just pointing that out. But like generally speaking, like the whole team is here. Now granted, I think the Iron Man is playing with the Black Panther, so alright, fine, sure, whatever. But that was a big misplay on your support. You shouldn't be downed. This makes no sense. This makes no sense. My man died looking like... That should not be a thing. Keep it a stack. Should not be a thing. Yeah. Your support sold. Just keep it a stack. Hate Iron Man. Never on point. They're always on point because they don't get shot at. If I had to guess, your cloak and dagger is part of why you're gonna have trouble in this. I think this was fine. Yeah. Your team was going ham back. They was going ham hocks. Then you're forced to block all this, and then yeah. Yeah. Your supports are making it hard for you. You lost. Your whole team lost 2 engagements already because your supports are just throwing. Like, your supports are straight trolling. Your back line is doing what needs to be done. So, like, the Iron Man and the Panther, they're mostly doing what they need to do. And your Iron Man's getting chased by freaking Wanda. Hilarious. And then now they're, I don't know, it's weird. It's like your team is okay. Your team is just doing things that they shouldn't be doing. And I respect it. Greed. Limit. So anytime these things happen, I just say greed and limit testing. If I can choose how to approach it, I can tell. Your team is not. Like, someone needs to set the tempo. Like, right now, there's no tempo being set. It's just everyone just kind of, like, doing their job independently. With there not being any tempo. And people are trying, like, they're trying to build that tempo. They're trying to build that momentum. But they're not. It seems like people are, like, your team's falling short. But you guys have points, so that's good. And I think your Penny set up shop. Yeah, you should definitely ping. Okay. Your Penny's set up. But that shit's gone now, so. I think also another thing is that you haven't looked back at your team. I think you wanted to, like, get a lay of the land and look at what's still up and available on your team. Your Mantis is ham. So, like, I think since you know your Mantis is ham, you should probably try to play. So, like, alright, here's what we're gonna do. So, check this out. So, instead of. He's right here. So, instead of you trying to play this door, you could play this line. See what I'm saying? Like, you could play this line or you could play the point. And I'll explain why. Right? I'm gonna use blue. If you play point, when this comes up, you can hide behind this. And then the little doors, they like come and they shift. So you can play cover with this and the other one that's on the back end. Right? Additionally, if you play like point, you can sort of play peekaboo here. You can definitely play peekaboo here. Right? And if we look at the lay of the land even some more, right? You also have height, right? We also have height over here. But you're strained, so obviously you want to frontline it. So like you're not necessarily in a bad spot, but like this isn't how close you were isn't ideal. And since you're playing this close, right? What you're giving, and I'm gonna use green because this is for green light, right? You're giving the Mantis the impression that it's okay to play here. You see what I'm saying? Because you're playing here, they feel, oh shit, I can play there too. So I'm gonna play here with you. I'm gonna do this shit. When that's not so much the case, right? And to make matters worse, another reason why I told you to look back, right? And I'm gonna erase this for a second. We're gonna go back in game. Remember earlier, Penny had trap here. It's gone. There's also, for what it's worth, right? There's no webs on the floor. So your Penny's not even getting any healing or anything like that without your supports. Right? Since you don't have any of that, this is already this shit's cooked right now. This situation's kind of cooked. And then let's get a lay of the land real fast. The reason why I'm doing this is because like I want you to be more conscious of paying attention to where your team is at. Right? So if you were to like back up, right? Let's put yourself in these shoes, right? In the shoes of like, let's say you were here, right? Since you're here, all you can see is this shit. You see what I'm saying? This is all you can see since you're pushed up here. When you tried to go for the Luna, that's where you kind of lost sight of everything. Like you tunneled to go get Luna because she was low. Happens to the best of us. I'm not gonna hold you. Happens to me too, right? But sometimes you gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them. If she's gonna get the heal, it's fine. You gotta keep in mind when she went to get the heal, this dude was right here already. She was on her way. He was coming from back this way, and he reached this point here. At that point, it's cooked. From the moment that you saw her go towards a health pack and you weren't able to get the last shot off, it's cooked. Just let it go. But let's come back in game, right? Before that engagement, you were kind of sort of here. Now, since you're here, right, let's look at what you can see. You can see this. You can see this. You see what I'm saying? When you go inside here, your vision is cooked, right? On first glance, this is a good view because you can peep this, right? But you don't know what's coming from here. You don't know what's behind here. You don't know what's behind here either, right? At least until you step a little bit more forward. So I'm just showing you the difference in like being like deep and then being further out, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like if you played here, right? So let's say we played this line instead. Now you can see you see how much shit you can see now? You can see this. You might not be able to see past the pillar, but you can tell at the very least what's coming out of here. Right? You can see what's coming here. Double back, you can see what's coming here. Because that's an entryway there. You can see what's coming here. See what I'm saying? So these are all areas you can keep your eye on. Which is why, like, if you're playing on... That's the advantage of playing mouse and keyboard. Is like, you can use your mouse to... Oh, damn. Well, damn. Damn. That's over there too? You know, like, you can see stuff. So you want to use that to your advantage. Like, it's like vision and... it's everything you can see is knowledge. And you can use that... That's basically intel. Right? And since you're a tank, you do need to know some of these things, right? Then again, what you can see, right? This isn't bad. All this is stuff you can see. And then it just gets better as you go back, right? We go back even further to kind of where... So let's say we're in Penny's shoes, right? We're seeing it from the view from Penny. We can see all of this. Like you see how much knowledge is power in terms of vision. And look, and now we compete the Wanda. That's over here, right? Wanda's right here. You know? We can see the foot of what's her name? Hela. And then we can see Spider-Man swinging. We have a lot of small things we can see. Even though they're small, minute details, we can see them. So you're able to relay that, like you can kind of relay that information even if you didn't have voice comms, right? You can still look to your left and then ping, hey, this asshole's right here. And then right here at this point, now you can converge. Penny can turn around and web her, or just turn or focus fire that, right? Hopefully your cloak and dagger here would actually do something that's not attack all the damn time, because the part of the problem is your cloak and dagger is very selfish, to be honest with you. Your cloak and dagger is barely healing you. So I can tell this is also why it feels like it's pandemonium. So it's just, you need to set that tempo. But let's move forward.
Beholds the god of thunder!
Oh yeah, all that could have been avoided. You see what I'm saying? Like, all this could have been avoided if you were to move back. Again, it's okay. Don't think of it as, man, I played horrible. No, it's okay. It happens. I mean, we all say it to ourselves. We're all our worst critics. But like, the fact that I saw Wanda creeping on the other side, and I was like, and even without looking at her ult up here on hindsight 2020, right? Because we're watching the VOD review. Even without looking at this, from the moment I saw her on the side, I'm like, she is plotting. She's most likely gonna try to do pure chaos. And for what it's worth, this is so easily containable. If you were to ping her, if, and I mean big if the Penny was good, that's what I said, having the capture, you know, the web capture, if they had that off for cooldown, they got one shot to hit that. If they miss, lay your shots on Wanda, she's dead. Because she got no heals off of that. No one was healing Wanda. Wanda was definitely dead. But we're gonna keep it pushing. Control lost. And yeah, those are the pillars I was talking about, that move. For a Magnet Man, for divers to give shield and they can do things, for sure. Magneto's definitely an enabler. Okay, so what we're gonna do here? What's the play? Walk and shield, okay. At that point, put the shield down so you don't... Yeah, let it recharge, okay. We push up. Spider-Man dies. Raise your crosshair. Raise your crosshair. That's another thing. Crosshair placement. Raise it a little bit higher. It's a little low. I have the same problem too, but you know, try to raise it a little bit higher. Okay, this is good. Okay. This is fine. You can play that. Play that for cover. So your support needs to not do that. Now, I'll say this, right? Real quick. If you ace the team and the entire team dies, then it's okay to push up because you know everyone's dead. And you can kind of play off of that. Then you can fight more inside. If you kill them one by one and they start trickling in or getting staggered, then be careful. Just because, you know, in case I have a flanker character like Spider-Man or something. I respect it. Again, that's what I mean. You need to look at your team more. And from the moment you heard Hell Unleashed, that's your cue as Strange to jump up and go fly towards Hela and put that shield right in front of her. You have so much control over, like, that character contains her when she has her ultimate. So you have, unfortunately, fortunately, picked, arguably speaking, the best tank. He hardly is the best tank. And potentially the best character in the game. Potentially. Like, you put that character in check. So that is your duty. Cause oh wait. My bad. I heard Hell Unleashed and I naturally just my PTSD flared up. Let me see here. Yeah, that is on your team. But she died. So it looks like your team laid into her, so that's fine. I thought she was on your team for a second. Remember, your team on the left. But this is good. Sorry, man. My PTSD flared up. Gotta make sure I keep my eyes on it. And then the person that was playing Hella swapped over to Scarlet Witch. So I hear Hell Unleashed. I'll be thinking she another team.
Keep fighting until we have a winner. Control lost.
The Sorcerer Supreme returns. I'm opening a portal.
And I'll just be real with you. Like, it's kind of like, it's just a skill I learned from Apex. Like,
A shortcut through space.
and like that skill is just map awareness and just being super. It's gonna come with any game, right? But like, it's a battle royale, so I gotta keep my eyes and ears open anytime someone can third party me. So just make it a good ooh, kill. Nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. You gotta make it a point to keep your eyes on everything.
Until we have a winner.
You have a big responsibility as Strange. That was a good TP. That was a really good TP. Okay. It's like you had control. It's like there's a lot of like topsy-turvy ups and downs with your control, but y'all got it together towards the later half. This is good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. All right, so we're gonna skip ahead. Well, y'all were fighting on the second half. So far, so good. Okay. Opened up mid. Done with main. Mid main. Don't forget, shoot the lamps. Shoot the lamps. Yeah, I mean, it's Hulk. He gonna melee you regardless. What they got now? Okay, I see. I still have double tank.
Victory's in.
Crosshair. Raise that crosshair up. Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man. Oh, he doesn't have it. Never mind.
Our enemies are near.
Don't chase. Don't chase. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. You know what? All right. You know I got to. Let's peep what happened here just for a second. I'm going to do the thing, aka the bird's eye. You know the chase was bad. You know it was bad. But let's peep what happened because of it, right? So that's Hulk right here, and we know that's you, right? Let's look at the situation that your team was left in. Your Panther thinking he finna do something back here. He getting cooked. And then your Chase ends up leaving. Man, this Panther's. He got out. Thank goodness he has dash. But now this leaves you in this situation. Yeah, see, you had the block. At that point, the route in which you took, had you stayed here with your team and you frontlined, if you frontlined your team in, your Penny wouldn't have had to take damage and you could have walked in. And he was already running away from you, right? So let's put it in perspective just for a second. So we'll leave it as this is. So the notion is, had you not chased Hulk, right? What was the potential outcomes? For starters, you had a 5v6 situation. That was really good for you. Because all things considered, Hulk had to jump to escape from you. So now that we see how Hulk escapes, now you know if you play this Hydra map again and you chase, how most likely they're going to run away. They're going to jump, which takes time, right? So you could have a 5v6 situation, right? And then potentially you could have came out on top, right? We'll just say it could have been positive, right? Could have been a positive situation, right? Well, I'll just add to it the 5v6 could have had a pick. Right? Into and basically it just resets. It goes back into another 5v6. Right? But someone's actually dead. Right? Could have been could have had a pick into 5v6. Right? Into stagger. We'll say staggered recovery. Hero recovery. Staggered hero recovery. Right? So these are just two scenarios that could have happened. We could add way more variables to this, right? We could add way more variables to this. Because if we get even more wild with it, right? Just for the sake of, this is VOD review. Sorry, this one I saw a lot of things. But I'm gonna do this because I think this will help drastically, right? I'm gonna zoom in really heavily, so just sit tight, you guys. I want to just point this out real fast, just so we look at like your team real fast and what was available on the fly editing at its finest. So if we look at what you had here, right? Obviously, you can see this if you press tab when you're playing, right? What you had going already was like, look at your ult economy. Look at what was available. Iron Man, locked and loaded. Mantis, locked and loaded. Panther, locked and loaded. And then, just for the sake of, we'll use yellow. On the way. On the way. And then Penny, also on the way. Any one of these ults could have been game changing in that exchange. Especially if you made the Hulk run away, you had full health. If you pushed in to sight, took the fight, and then Mantis pops ult, it's gonna take Hulk too long to get in there. Now granted, on the flip side, right? They did have a Luna ult. Right? That's the flip side. They do have a Luna ult available. Right? And obviously she used it, so that's something to note. But it would have been ult for ult at that point. Right? And then to make matters worse, for them, their Loki he didn't even have anything. Well, he has his ult, but he's not around. He's dead. Right? Like, you can see my man is laid out. Right? So since he's laid out, you don't gotta stress that. Right? He would have been coming back into the fight, which goes back into the stagger. So you starting to see what I'm saying? Like, there would have been a lot of situations, and he couldn't copy Luna's ult to run it back to do it a second time. See what I'm saying? There is no second Luna ult. At that point, he'd have to copy Mantis. Now, granted, he could copy Luna when she comes back, but you see what I'm saying? Like, they can't back-to-back them shits. So you're in a very favorable position here. So they popped that. Hulk has his. Yeah, they only had, like, from an ult economy standpoint, it'd have been alright. If Hulk was to burn his, you still have Penny and then Cloak and Dagger would have had theirs, and then you could have protected the point. Like, you see what I'm saying? I can go on and on and on and on and on about what could have happened. You know, had the team fight kind of kept going along, had you been there, you see what I'm saying? Like, in this whole situation could have been completely different without the chase. So just keep that in mind. All this could have been avoided. And that would have enabled Panther. Panther probably would have killed at least one other person. At least. And then Iron Man can ult at whatever time. He could probably just nuke freaking Loki at that point. If he tried to copy, like, let's say he copied like Mantis, just fucking nuke him. Just nuke him. Zone him off. Like, I don't know. To drive the point home and not harp too heavy on it, you could have changed this whole situation just by you being present. That's Avengers Endgame. So there's that. So I'm going to reset this. Okay, whoa. Just one. Hello, thingy. Did you want to go back? All right, cool. Lock that up. All right, cool. So as long as you see these things and you know, I'm gonna do it one more. Well, I want to do it. So you're gonna watch it later. But yeah, just keep all that in mind. Keep it all in mind. But I definitely want you to see it. And there's the Hulk ult, as expected, because they don't want to lose point. Yeah, his team, they don't want to lose the point. They want as much percentage as possible. And these are good blocks. And don't be afraid to take some damage. Yeah, block that, block it. Beamed. See? Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Look who's in the back, just see. Pure beam. Big Tony Stark beamer down. That's what I'm talking about. See? You do things and your teams, they should support you. They don't want to lose up, right? But this is good. This is good. Now you guys have percent. Map change. I swear that see, now here's the point where you can actually take an offensive approach. Okay, I do want to talk about this really quickly, and it's something I try to do in my games. On the Hydra map here, on the swap, right? So when the stage transitions and transforms, I think it's actually good to try to set up shop somewhere in this hallway. Maybe not set up your utility. So for example, Penny Trap, I wouldn't really set up the nest out here, but you can maybe post up maybe 1 or 2 people here just to get like or at least one person, maybe the Panther or something like that. If you're on comms, it'd be so much easier, right? To be able to tell who's coming from their spawn, right? This way you can get a lay of the land, see who's coming through and who's not, and then also peep game who's here, because mid changes, right? This whole area changes. And even if they were to get, like, let's say only these two, so let's say Luna and Thor come through, right? And let's say for whatever reason, like Panther was back here and gave like the intel that there's 2 here, right? Then at that point, you can have, you know, your utility will go off and you should know to come back, essentially, or at least keep 1 or 2 more, maybe 3 people on point. And this match right here would be a 3v2. These 2 are staggered right here. Panther can see them, maybe start a ruckus. You know what I'm saying? Or in starting that ruckus would probably get these 2 to come this way. You see what I'm saying? No amount of things could have happened, but just pointing out, it's something I try to do in my games. The minute that this stuff happens, try to get comfortable, and then like, okay, it's on the reset, so try to get comfortable. It's like my overall point. Try to get comfortable just in the, because this essentially resets neutral. And look, and there it is. There's a 2 into 3. Yeah. This is... Oh, man. This whole situation here... Oh, this could have been... Oh, it's rough. This is rough. Yeah, this is rough. Yeah, it is rough. That's rough. And they swapped to Venom off of Hulk? What? I don't agree with that. I think your Groot was Penny previously. I hope that your Groot does not wall off your team. That's rough. Yes. Okay. So if you're talking about the previous engagement on point, yes. All of that was lost. Like that whole situation was like this whole situation was cooked because y'all's positioning on the transition wasn't good. Which is why I said like on the transition you need to set up. So the second that the site, so all right, you guys won sight, right? So let's look at it for a second. You guys won sight, and it's on stage transition now. So let me come back here. It should be about here, right? Come back a little bit more. I think, yeah. So yeah, I think this is where you guys get it. Okay. And then, yeah, now this is stage transition, right? After they get it. Okay. Right, so... Yeah, here was definitely not the greatest positioning. Your supports could be a tad bit closer. Like Mantis could play probably somewhere else here, but that's neither here nor there. Let me see here. I think here's fine. Like where you are isn't necessarily bad per se, but like you're not, like you guys aren't set up. Like you're not sure. It's kind of like you're just not confident at the end of the day. Like here you're not confident. I think you could set up, like you could be ready for mid, right? You yourself could be ready for mid, right? Because look at what happened. So you're poking these dudes who you can see who are super far back, but you're not ready for mid. Because right here, it looks like you are mostly preparing for them to come from main and not mid. So I know, so that we're all like understanding this as we're watching this. So remember, there's 3 entry points to this area, like the major ones, right? Each area from left and right sides, this is main, right? And then there's the mid area that you break the wall and come through from mid. So it looked like you and your team weren't ready for mid. Like you weren't ready for a mid push. Which is why I was saying like Penny's nest, this is not a good spot for your Penny to drop nest. Nest needs to be on point. Nest needs to be literally on site. There's no reason for the nest to be here. And now let's talk about it real quickly and why I'm saying it needs to be on point, right? I don't mean on point as in like on point. It needs to be on point as in it needs to be on site where they can capture, right? Because obviously, remember, she has the little robo spiders. These do mad damage on top of her own landmines. You double those together, it hurts. Because these spiders naturally they crawl towards the enemy, right? And they do buku damage. Now, if you look at it from this perspective, right? Let's say we're coming from, let's say this is enemy spawn. Enemy spawn is pulling up, right? Like, look at this. From where Venom is at, swinging in, it's already for the most part in plain sight because you can see the webs. That's not what you want. So at that point, like look who's coming through, right? As Venom and whatever the character was coming back in sight, right? Venom, Spider-Man. Spider-Man can't really attack it. He has to burn his web fluid to get rid of this, right? Not enough damage, but him plus Venom can just run up and just tank it. Loki could have come here and just attacked it. It didn't make it look a difference. So what hurt this situation on site was that your Penny did not set up on site, and you yourself just weren't ready for a mid push. Because here's exactly what happens, right? Penny's util could have done so much damage to Thor in this here. Let me zoom in right here, right? Penny's util would have did so much damage to the Thor in this situation, right? And then look at all what's coming here. You had Thor, you had Luna, you had Loki, you had Wanda, Scarlet Witch, and no util. And look at where her util is. This is bad. Now that's just your Penny, right? So this is for your future games. If you play with a Penny and you play Hydra, on every time you play a Penny, if they put down the nest not on site, I'm not gonna lie, flame them if you got to. Like, hey, can you take your nest down and put it on site somewhere? Because if you think about it, again, so let's assume, right? Let's assume nest was on site right here, right? If we assume this, then he's gonna walk into all of the nonsense. All the spider mines would have been here. That's what I'm saying. Like, now granted, this is also, let this be known, right? This is in a lot of ways a 50-50, right? It's a 50-50 in the sense that, like, they could come from main and this is still a good spot. Even if they can shoot that, you as Strange can see them and protect it on site. And then your team lays into, when I say lays into, they do damage. They shoot at them coming in from main, right? But again, if it was a mid push, then they would take all that landmine damage. And if the Penny was smart, I would have laced up, I'd have lit up this, bro, this whole thing should be fireworks. You feel me? This shit should be 4th of July type beat. Deadass. This should be 4th of July. This shit should be lit the fuck up. Excuse my language. But this should be just lit up. There's no reason for this not to get lit up. Point blank. But that's just your Penny. You yourself could have been ready for the mid push. Because you can essentially hold this corner, right? And you can see kind of like what's going on, or you can kind of stay out here. Like maybe somewhere where you can see both sides of mid. If they were ballsy, they could have come through your they could have came through your main, but they're not that savvy. They definitely was gonna either come from mid or site, mid or main. So if you look at the engagement, all right, Thor dunks on your support. He's not even worried about you, right? And then your Cloak and Dagger, they're out of there too. But look at the first thing they do. They swap to damage instead of swapping. Like, man, it's almost like your team is just making just really goofy choices. And then look, his first thing is to go in and do damage. Like, dude, just, okay, you dropped Veil. Cool. But like, he doesn't, his, I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to. And this is another part that's bad. He has bubble. He's just focused on damaging. So like, I just think a lot of the stuff that's happening with your team isn't just a you thing. I want you to see like what's happening with the entire game. Like it's just the choices your team's making. Instead of focusing on using bubble, I get it. This goes back to what happened in the first round. They dropped Veil, jumped up, and then cloaked themselves when they can cloak the entire team on the ground. It's a 2-second cloak, but it would have stopped you from having to get hit by Strange. I mean, at that point, it was Thor. And it could have let Penny do damage. And it's just 2 seconds. 2 seconds is enough time to do mad stuff in this game. So, essentially, again, you weren't confident. Your team's not confident. Everyone's just playing like they're afraid. That's where you as the player, you as like the tank, and just in general, just as a player, is where you got to step up to the occasion and be like, all right, screw it, I'm gonna take control. Again, use your pings. If you're using your pings, your team should know to play with you and play into the enemy team instead of playing independently. The only character that should be playing independent is Panther, because he's, you know, he's a jungler in a sense. And then this here, this was just rough. This Venom should be punished. That Venom should have been hella punished. But you don't have, God. It's just your team doesn't have the damage outside of Iron Man. At this point, at this point too, I think your Penny gave up a lot of advantage swapping the group. Like, I'm gonna be real with you, on Hydra maps, Penny, Strange is godlike on every map, period. But like Penny plus Strange is good because you get to walk in, put nest, do work. Why he swapped a group despite already having a shield, I don't know. The extra walls isn't. You would do that with Penny instead of with Strange. You see what I'm saying? And that's true. You don't want to die with a full shield either with Strange.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
I don't know. There's just some things your team is selling in some areas, and you're just lacking confidence because your team isn't giving you confidence.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
Yeah, this, I don't know. It's looking like you want to eye. You gonna do it? No, you don't. Okay, I respect it. I respect the patience. You didn't eye Vagamoto. I was expecting it. All right. Okay, good engagement. Block it out. She got cooked. Nice. There it is. Cooked. It's cooked. It's cooked. It's cooked. Peter. It's cooked. Let's go. Take sight. Good stuff. All right, now here, once again. Now again, this is the part where I'm talking about. Set up shop. Team got wiped. Go on ahead. Get up in here. And box. You can, don't worry about it being ranked. Don't matter if it's quick play. Get in here and start doing work. Because if you wait for them, well, I tell everyone, do not wait for the enemy team to pull up from main. You want to do this so that you don't give them the option to pull up through mid. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to give them that. That's not what you want. You don't want to give them that. Because look, they're coming from here, right? Their options are they can cut this way, right? Cool. Doesn't really do much of anything. It just kind of another cover way, right? Then they can come through here, and they go this way, and then they can come mid. You don't want to give them that option. You want to force an engagement pretty much here. So you can cut off. The idea is to cut this off. You do not want them to play here. You don't want to give them this. This is an entryway to a potential flank. I think of it this way, right? Let's say, I mean, they have a Spider-Man, right? If you give him leeway to come from this way, right? That's just for the sake of, because I do a lot of this on my own time, right? So let's use a hypothetical, right? Let's say the rest of the team moved up. You know, you let them come this way. Spider-Man comes back on his own, right? Let's say he has ult, right? He's gonna come up here, right? And then he gets to come from high ground. You see what I'm saying? You're too busy fighting the team down here to even think remotely about Peter being up here, which gives him enough room to swing around up here and look at any one of your supports who's not looking at him web zip, combo them, bye-bye. And then he's got Venom. That is a problem in itself because he's gonna do the combo and then get the Venom burst off, and that's a guaranteed kill. That's it. GG. That character's gone. Then you're down one support, and that's a 5v6. Not a good look. So I'm gonna encourage you guys who are watching this, like, it's not always gonna be, it's not the worst case scenario. Too many people are afraid to play. They're like, yo, just play right here, just wait, let them pull up from here. Hell no. Cover mid. You have the ability to fight here and cover that. Again, even if they take this right here, if they take this doorway, there's a wall, there's a ceiling, they can't do shit from here. If they come this way, all it does is give them another way to come around. They could probably jump up from here, right? But that's like, that's okay. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is okay. You're not gonna like, you're not gonna lose from this, right? You see what I'm saying? Because this is still high ground. If they take that, all they can do is come around with some kind of cover, right? Like, they can just come around this, and either way it goes, as long as you're standing here, you can see them. So they're not going to be able to get into this, because to come around here and be safe, because this is a breakable wall. All this is breakable for the most part, so they can't just hide here either. Like, you see where I'm coming from? You see how much of a dynamic that's happening here in just the game in itself, that like, people overlook this. So like, even if your team is like hesitant to go in after a wipe like that, ping the shit out of them and just say, come over here. Type to them whatever you got to do. Let them know you need to play here. You may not need to play here, but you need to threaten the option to, you need to threaten to take away mid. That's the bottom line. Especially in this case where you're at 99%, right? All it takes is one team wipe, and like this it's cooked, right? All that effort you just put into that cook, all the ults you just burned, cooked, because you want to play on site. Don't play on site. Just poke from here. If you get a pick, that's great. Then 5v6 and then box here. Box here. Even if they pull up, trying to go to mid, do damage. If one to two people take a lot of damage on their way to mid and then they still try to force the engagement, that's okay. Because then what's going to happen is those two people are going to go here and then the others are going to be fighting right here. They're not going to make some miraculous comeback with no ults. You already know in the last team fight, there's no ults available. There's no ults available on your side either. However, you guys have the ability to, like, you guys are already here. You're set up. You know what I'm saying? You guys can set this shit up. Hell, in fact, with Groot, I'll tell the Groot, hey, block off the walls. Block off mid. Literally, put a wall here. Put a wall here. I think Groot gets like 3 to 4 walls, right? So maybe put a wall. Just put walls up, period. Don't let them come through, right? Or you can put walls all across here and make it hard for them to get through, right? And then, hell, you come over here, tell Groot block off mid if you have to. I don't know. Yeah. Or just pull up. Like, it doesn't matter. Just do something. Take Groot for what it's worth and tell him to wall up something at the bottom line. Help. Wall up mid if you have to. Force them to fight through main. You see what I'm saying? There's too many options. But remember, you have these options to say something in your games. Man, this one's going to be a little bit of a long analysis, but I just want to point it out, like, you have that ability. You know? Let's say some people come in, they trickle in, and you kill somebody. Ping Groot. Hey, put up a wall on mid. Don't let them come through. Force them to break that and waste time to break that, and then you just beam them for trying to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're doing things to force them to have to fight you. That's the bottom line, right? So we'll move from here. You get the idea. I've been driving this point home.
We are Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot.
Okay. I don't know what these walls are. but okay.
Captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
And your cloak and dagger goes back to attack mode again, dude. No wonder they had like 6k worth damage. Okay, good blocks, good blocks. Nice. Just you and Venom. Hands. Your hands are short the box for God. It's okay. That's alright. We take those. Burst. Yes, sir. We take those. That's right. We block it out. That's cool. That's cool. Block it out. Yes, sir. Okay. The defense. Yes. Okay. Here's where you start beating ass. Love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. 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 Yeah. Calm down. That's right. Yeah. That's fine. It's worth it. GG's. Good shit. That's a good ass recovery. That's a good recovery. What's up, TSG? That's a good recovery. That's a good recovery. I gotta give it to you. That was a really good recovery. I think that's where you're seemingly like the most confident is when it's time to whoop that ass. I think super good. And yeah, these tidbits as Digital are saying are important too. Get into the habit of throwing your auto and holding out the shield. Throwing auto and putting up shield again is good for damage. Shield taking damage. Your HP sharing damage for the healers to help. Yes, exactly. Like, this was good though. That was a good recovery. Cause I'm not gonna lie, it's like you and your team, like y'all locked in at the very end. That's super good that you're able to do that, and that's clutch. The trick now is to do this without being in such a dire situation. That's one of the hardest parts that people have in this game, is that like they wait till the chips are down to be like, yo, it's time to like lock in. It's like, nah, lock in from the start, dominate the map and take control. Even if it means you have to go ult for ult to take away their util, it's better to take away the util and survive than to not force the util out of them and let them make a big play off of it. That's not a good look, because people like they'll just ult after ult after ult after ult and just not care, because they're so hungry to take the site back that they're willing to, like, you know what I'm saying, burn all that stuff. But this was a good one to kind of do analysis on, because I want people to see there's a lot of things that they can do. You know, so all in all, not bad. This was good. Like, there's a lot of recovery moments, but it's good. Everything came together at the end, which I think was very, very good. So this is a fun one. I actually enjoyed doing this one. So hopefully you guys are learning stuff off of these analysis things, man. There's so much to learn in Marvel Rivals at all levels of play that, like, you know, these things are very, very common and natural for a lot of the high level players. So like, it doesn't matter if you're bronze or silver or gold. These are things you should be conscious of, while obviously learning the game. You know, if you're playing this game and you're playing in ranked and you don't know any of this stuff, I suggest you sit in quick play and spend some time learning the maps and learning like game flow a lot more than just trying to flex like, yo, I need to get this rank to prove that I'm good. You don't need to do all that. Play the game, get good, learn more about the game. The more you learn and the more you know, you'll be able to take the game to the next level. So, yeah. This was definitely a fun replay to go over. So, yeah.